Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Coffees.
Hey.
Hi.
Let's see. Just got back from Jamaica. Yeah.
Yes. Man, what a beautiful place.
God. Yeah, we wanted to kind of touch base about Jamaica, ins and outs. Maybe some of you are actually planning a trip. I thought maybe it was necessary to tell you what to expect and maybe what not to do when you get there. But nonetheless, go because it's freaking beautiful, and
Oh yeah.
we already miss it. We've been back for just a couple of days, and we want to go back already. So
Yeah, but in March, you can't find
nope,
80-degree temperatures.
not at all.
Beautiful breeze all day,
Yeah, gosh.
hanging amongst the palm trees.
But just the water alone, to me, Michigan's got its fair share of clear water up
But
there.
not turquoise water.
No, and I've never, even in Florida, I've never been to the Gulf side of Florida, or down below like Miami and all that. So I couldn't tell you. But a lot of people say Florida's got the same water, and I'm like, there's no way. No one's got this kind of water. Just the Caribbean islands, I guess. And if you think about it, I guess the bottom of Florida, technically, is it Caribbean? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there you go. But it's still not the same. So yeah.
Wait, is Florida the Caribbean? Is that what you ask?
Part of the Caribbean, down at the bottom, the Keys.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You're
Maybe.
still not going to get the same water.
Who knows?
So just go.
Right.
Definitely. But before we went to Jamaica, we actually went to Branson, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Which was, how'd you find Branson to be?
Well, everything was closed down or under construction, so it kind of was a bust for me.
Yeah.
It actually rained when we were going to look at a waterfall, so didn't get to do that. And like I said, a lot of the restaurants and stores, things like that were closed. Like the roller coaster was shut down.
Yeah.
Just all the fun things that I was looking forward to doing wasn't really there. So
No.
I think that we went at the wrong time. I feel like it could be fun, but definitely busted through my expectations. So,
Yeah. But
yeah.
I mean, like landscape, as far as
Yeah, that was beautiful.
it was.
And that's why I was looking forward to looking at the waterfall. I thought,
Yeah.
man, like it really is a beautiful environment.
Yeah, well, just the river. It's a snake river. I mean, and to me, that's cool. We're used to seeing lakes. This is a snake. The Snake River is what I would call it or describe it. And then they have a huge dam that you can drive over, and it's outlooks and stuff like that of different levels of where the water is. Where the dam's at. So that in itself is cool, and I could see, like you said, the waterfalls.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool to do, and we're not those people that want to go out to the wax museums, the
Right.
pirate shows, or the Hatfield and McCoys.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that stuff's cool, but that's
We've already done it.
right. And I'm not wanting to spend that much money on doing shows. I'd rather go to a beautiful place and see the nature behind it and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but that was a nice little trip. My mom came over with my
And our
niece
beautiful niece. Yeah.
to visit Christian and Haley's newborn,
Yes.
Easton. So they came over to 15, 16-hour drive, and then we wanted to take them out there to see parts of the middle of the country, because I don't think my mom has been middle of the country. I know she says she's been to St. Louis, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we just
like
wanted
when
to,
he was born. So
Yeah.
very long time ago.
Oh, you calling me old? Dang.
Maybe.
But so we wanted her to see that side, or this part of the country, and just 2.5 hour drive to get there. So we wanted her to see the landscape, and she enjoyed it. She had fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we really did, make the best of it and have a great time, even though a
They had
lot
an
of the
indoor
things
pool.
were closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had a great time. I just recommend not going in the winter months because
Wait till May, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of the places were going to open.
In April.
Yeah, April end of March. So I think that would be a really good time to go if you were looking forward to doing like the roller coaster type thing, like the mountain roller coaster. I'm not sure what it's called, but that it seemed fun, and that's something that we would have liked to do if it was open.
Yeah.
But
Now,
there were plenty of things to do.
I will say, so we didn't take the camper. We got a hotel room.
Yes.
I will say though, I think I would go. I would definitely go back. No doubt about it. I think it would be. I think I would like it more if I was in a camper, in that atmosphere over there by that river. That would be really cool to do.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we need to think about doing that.
But you get to drive on the mountains and see down below, and there's like beautiful houses, but there's also like mountains and
okay, you
the
caught,
big lake.
and that was the thing going in. We were talking to some of Christian and Haley's friends that had gone, and he's from Arizona, and he even said mountains, and I was like, mountains? And he's like, well, and I was like, okay. I was like, because, North Carolina, where we were 2 hours from mountains, 3,000 feet elevation.
Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. So, but him being in Arizona, it's like 3,000 feet to him was even, that's probably small. And he was like, yeah, no, it was like 7,000, I think, where he was from. That's kind of the height of where he was at in the mountains. So I was like, are they mountains or are they foothills? And he was like, maybe foothills. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So
we have foothills before we get to our mountains in North Carolina.
But the landscape, even their foothills though, like if you cut through the mountain, the layer of limestone and stuff like that, very, very cool.
Yeah.
And then they have so many caverns. It's insane. It's like everywhere. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
So definitely would go back, but yeah, like you said, busy. Oh, but I'd say the coolest part of Branson is downtown. I don't know what the plaza is called, but they have a smaller Bellagio scale of fountain.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Actually, I think we did. I think I did a Facebook Live on that, but we'll have to post that on a short if I didn't, maybe, just so you can see it. The fountain of just it goes to the music, some song. I don't know what song. Pledge of Star Spangled Banner. They did that, and then there was a song after that too. They did the Bellagio theme.
Yeah, so they had fire and the lights shined and then the fountain just shot up. It was really fun.
Very cool. So
and we actually went back at night because we thought it would be even more spectacular at night, and it definitely was.
Right.
It's a different atmosphere at night, and you can see the lights better, and obviously the fire is more dramatic. So it was really fun.
And then we went to the back side of it. So like the backdrop is across the river, and then there's like a mountain.
Now who's saying the mountains?
It's a foothill that's back there. So we went to the back side of it and watched it the next night, and then we found the coolest camp, a kids camp on that back side.
Oh yeah.
What was it? I want to call it Kikiwaka, but that's not what it was. It's like
we've been watching a lot of kids shows lately.
It sounded pretty damn close to Kikiwaka, but
but it was acres upon acres, and they had cabins.
It's like the whole side of the mountain too.
Yeah,
the hill.
that looked
very
pretty cool.
Even Camden was like, I want to go here, and I think Rihanna said the same thing. Like, I would love to go here for camp. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward a few days after that. Got on a plane.
And we finally got to get back to Jamaica.
Yeah.
So we spent our honeymoon 22...
I'll tell them the backstory to why we didn't get to go and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So 22 years ago, after we got married, we went to Jamaica for our honeymoon. And I had never been out of the country before. So
Neither.
It was, pretty exciting. And we had a great time. And so we always said... on a milestone anniversary, we would love to go back. So fast forward 20 years later, we planned this, trip to finally get back to Jamaica. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. So going through chemo and radiation, you're not supposed to be in the sun, and you have to wear all this protective stuff even if you do go out. So we just decided that it would be better to, I guess,
Wait.
postpone and go at a different time.
Which really did suck.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I mean,
right. And not to mention, going through chemo, it's fine. Well, once you get the chemo treatment, you're pretty sick for a few days to a whole week, and then you might have 2 good weeks depending on your side effects, and then you get to do it all over again.
well, yeah,
so,
just think about it. Like the sun alone, you would have been able to stay out in the sun.
not at all. So, yeah, I'm glad we postponed it.
Yeah.
But we finally got to go 2 years later, and
Everything I remembered it would be
yeah,
going there, and I didn't. There's one thing of searching for this drink I had 20 years ago. It's called a beach cooler.
yes. So the whole week he spent
I did. I spent the whole week trying just
every drink you could
Yeah.
possibly think of. So even if it wasn't the right color, he's like, it's okay.
I'm gonna try it anyways.
Yeah, so-
and the place that we stayed at was all inclusive, so they had different probably 5 bars.
Yeah.
5 bars total. So
In our hotel, but we also had access to
it was an adjoining hotel.
right
Yeah,
another
that we had
hotel.
access.
So that was probably another 6-7 bars because
Yeah.
that one was even bigger than
Same
ours.
resort. What was the name of the resort? Royal
Royal-
Decameron.
Yes.
So
They have like live entertainment every single night. They
it was
have
great. Like
games
yeah.
that you get to play during the day, like trivia and volleyball. I mean,
swim
just
up bar. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
so much fun. And I got this man on a kayak in the ocean.
Y'all don't even know.
Yes.
Like I love the ocean because I love to look at it. I'll go out, say, if we're on the East Coast, I'll go out maybe shin deep, knee deep. and
Yeah,
I'm
knee
good.
deep is pushing it for sure.
I'm
for
good.
him.
Like, and then, well, even here or in Jamaica, I was out chest deep because you could see all the way to the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I think they said even the glass boat ride that we did 20 years ago, it's like 50 to 100 feet. You can darn near still see the bottom of it. So I can see anything coming my way, and I'm a pretty darn good swimmer. So I feel confident enough that, if all I have to go is a little bit, we're good.
So his train of thought is he's a better swimmer than me. So if they eat me, then
It's
he'll
like-
be fine.
It's like just
like
just-
a bear.
Just hop on the back. I'll take us both, no problem.
Oh,
But
my
yes,
goodness.
she did. She got me on the kayaks. and
Yes, and he could see all the way down to the coral, which was really cool. The rocks on the bottom, or the dead coral, was not exciting for you because you're like, I can't see the fish, or what if they're
I would not touch the coral with my feet. I just can't do it.
yeah, it's not like mud though. I mean, it's like hard.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So, that was, if I would have hopped off and dove, it would have been beautiful to be able to scuba dive down there. Don't get me wrong, that would be awesome. But even up on the shore where the beach is, some of the coral actually came into the beach, and,
Like the swimming area.
it
of
had
the
been
beach.
probably 10, 15 feet down. You could kind of swim out that way because it dropped where we were. It was like, 2 foot, 4 foot, 10 foot. Like it just
Right.
drops. So it wasn't that far from the shoreline at all. I mean, if I were to guess, it was probably 20 feet from the shoreline. You're out 15 feet deep. I couldn't go out that way because I was afraid that my feet were gonna touch the coral. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm weird. I don't know. But nonetheless, she got me in a kayak, and that was really freaking fun. So
Yes.
I went next day. So we did a double kayak, a dual kayak together. So that was pretty fun. And let me tell you, people say do a road trip together. When you first meet, to test your,
Compatibility.
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, nope, screw that. Get yourself a kayak. Get yourself a double kayak, because you, especially in the ocean, that wind picks up those waves, man. They can move you, and you'll actually find yourself working really hard, and that wind's coming in with those waves. You're just kind of paddling. You're in the same spot. So both of you have to work together to start moving the kayak, and there was a couple of times where
So he doesn't like my rows. Apparently, I
Yeah.
row way harder than he does.
yeah. So my one row, well, her one row was like three of mine, and I'm like, so she would row, and it would turn the boat this way, and I'm like, what? And then I'm over here three times, and then she gives one more, and it's back over here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to figure this out. So
So
the second day we did. We didn't do the doubles.
we did not.
She
And
had
I
her
did
own, and I
just
had my
fine.
own. Yeah,
Yes.
she did. She did.
And then I think we did it a third time, and I was in the back. So the first time, I was in the front.
And we were
he
good.
was like, no, you just sit there. And I'm like, no, I don't want to sit here
I
in
know.
the ocean.
I know.
You know?
Well, no, to you it was, I'm not going to sit here and not do something to help out.
Right.
It's like, no, I get what you're doing. Like, but I've got this. Like, it was easy enough for me in the back to do it by myself. And I just wanted her to enjoy looking out into the abyss and, you know, even on the shoreline to be able to see everything that was there.
Yeah.
And then the second day,
We got our own.
yeah. And then the third day we realized we probably needed to have her in the front again, or we need to go back and do our own. So,
But I ended up in the back on the third day.
yep.
So then he was complaining that I was rowing too hard.
Yeah.
So,
But it was all good.
yeah.
And she
It was
wanted-
a lot of fun, and we were able to see all the way down. We saw a couple swordfish,
Yeah.
some stripy fish.
Stripy
very,
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black
just-
and yellow.
yeah,
Black and
just,
yellow, black and yellow.
Very tropical. It was beautiful. We had restaurants on the resort that we made reservations for. We got all gussied up and went to dinner.
That was
fun. Yeah, we
Good
tried
food, too.
Yeah, we tried some food that I haven't tried before, like salmon.
Yep. You've tried salmon. You
Yeah,
just
I
don't
eat
like
salmon
it.
and sushi. I just don't eat like the fillet
Yeah.
salmon, I guess.
Did you enjoy it?
I like the top, the crust. Once you got down, it was too fishy for me.
Yeah.
So, very glad I tried it there. I think that was probably a good choice for me there. But they also have food that doesn't have preservatives like the U.S.,
Oh my gosh.
which was a culture shock for us
It
for
really
a few
was.
days. But after that, it was like it's okay. I
Yeah.
can tolerate this. I can eat this.
Well, even the pasta was very, very, very fresh.
Yeah.
But just the ketchup. Guys,
The
I'm
ketchup
telling
was a
you.
thing. It was a thing.
We were like, what the hell are we? What is this that we're dipping our fries? Like, we asked for ketchup. She came back with ketchup. And
Yeah,
It
I mean
did
it was
not-
a similar color to ketchup. Like
Right.
it wasn't as bright and I guess thick consistency
Yeah.
like our ketchup. And it reminded me, even the taste was like duck sauce
yeah,
for us here in the U.S. So
that's right.
I don't know. It was strange, but just sprinkle a little salt on there, and after a while, it all tastes the same. So
But like you were saying though, after the first or second day of, eating ketchup,
Yeah.
just dipping our stuff in the ketchup, we realized like we use so many preservatives and so much salt.
yeah,
And then we actually started liking it by, the third or fourth day. It's like, okay, this is actually pretty darn good. But just the fresh fruit that they had over there. And
yes,
I remember I don't think I had a soda while we were over there. No caffeine, really. It was all fruity drinks with quite a bit of liquor. But they were
rum, lots of rum.
Lots of rum, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still really, really good. And I can't, like, the Royal Decameron is a place that we will go back, right?
yeah,
Like, I wouldn't mind seeing or visiting other places, but, man, they did a really, really good job. And we appreciated their hospitality, I guess.
oh yeah, super friendly, like all the time.
And they're not even paying us to say this.
Right. No, I love that they are happy all the time.
All the time.
I think it's just a way of life over there, and I don't know, it's almost contagious. Like you can't be in a bad mood or ugly to people
Yeah.
like here in the U.S. If you're there, and why would you have a reason to be in a bad mood? I mean,
Right.
You get to wake up in paradise every single day, so I definitely understand that.
And I think they did, like, whether it's in their training or not, but just to always have a smile on their face. And
Yeah.
you know, I miss the days of passing somebody as you're going by, that works, you know, in the place that you're visiting, and them actually saying, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
But actually engaging, like
Right.
they truly wanted to know how we were. And you know, we'd have a couple of the people that were in charge of entertainment. They would just be walking around the beach area, and one of the guys came up to Angela, and we were just, I think we were laying out in the sun, or I can't remember what we were doing, but he just came right up to her, and he was just like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, and then he ended up saying this phrase in, I can't remember what it is, in Jamaican.
I remember the last part. It was me, General.
Me general. It's
Yeah.
like ya 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 yo yo.
Nope. It was
Okay.
like I can't remember. Me General was the end part of it, but it had something to do with respect.
Respect of who we were, and you know, it was just us engaging with them or him at that time in conversation. So at the end of that conversation, he had said what he had said, and it was like, much respect, you know, like, and we looked it up, and it's like, just thank you, much respect. And
Yeah.
but you know, it was those phrases they would walk around and just kind of, they would say that.
And not necessarily that we even knew the meaning before looking it up, but you could tell by the way that they were saying it
Right.
that they were genuine and kind words.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I love that. But, you know, at night we had entertainment. I think it started at like 6:30,
Yeah.
7.
Yep.
But they had like karaoke. They had Cabernet night.
Yep. Steel band, reggae, throwbacks and stuff
One
like
Love,
that.
One People.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was just a different show every single night. And
Fire breathing, fire blowing out of somebody's mouth.
they were hula hooping with the fire, and I'm like, oh, I
Crazy.
wonder if this is how Hawaii
Yeah.
is going to be.
So they did a really good job of, you know, entertainment every night was something different.
Yeah.
But they just, they had a way of bringing everybody that was even both hotels.
Yeah.
And then they had this big I'd say it's an amphitheater. Mm-hmm. That everybody could be there. So
Yeah.
it was great.
And you could hang out on the beach and hear the same show, which
Yeah.
was really cool. We're early dinner eaters.
Yeah.
So we would go and eat dinner, and then just go and sit at a cabana.
We are grandparents now, so you know, 5 o'clock is the
Early birds.
3 o'clock is the new early bird. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, he was anyways, but definitely we have always been. So, but we would sit at one of the cabanas or in the chairs, you know, after we ate and listen to people sing karaoke or just listen to the entertainment and watch the ocean. It was like one of the best things that we did each day.
Yeah.
I just loved it. So I'm so thankful that we finally got to get there. And spend some time together because, you know, life,
Right.
the grind of life, you know, gets a hold of
Exactly.
you. And then before you know it, it's 20 years, you
Right.
know.
and when, you know, while we were there, we were kicking ourselves like, why did we?
Right.
We've had every opportunity. We've both worked really hard our entire lives. I mean, hard, saving money, and we could have went back so many times to stay a week, and we haven't. And we are both like just kicking ourselves. Why has it taken 20 years? It's not that expensive
No.
to be able to do it, and it's just like, why the heck has it taken this long? And just made us realize like we just been so just in the trenches with, you know, work, saving, doing everything else for our kids, and not like, you know, we do those weekend getaways as husband and wife. It's very important that we do, but it's like we could have been back 5 times.
Right.
And you know, just being there this past week, it's like, no, we're going to go back before 30th anniversary, you know.
And it's super important just to, you know, take time to be one-on-one with your spouse.
For that long period of time, too.
Yeah.
And that's
like a whole week,
Yeah.
you know. And it was really good because, you know, it was out of the country. We didn't really know anyone. We could, you know, be crazy and silly and goofy.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. But, you know, the last time we went to Jamaica, We came back 6 days before 9/11.
Yes.
So
TSA wasn't.
TSA wasn't a thing at all.
Well, no, there
Customs.
was, but you had TSA, but it wasn't
I don't
anything.
remember TSA, but customs, like that was a whole new thing for us. You know, we haven't been out of the country since then. So, yeah, and now it's completely different. Michael was convinced that we weren't even at the same airport that we
Seriously,
that we went to.
And we were, like,
We definitely were.
no doubt about it.
He's asking our taxi driver.
What other airports? And I know there's one in Kingston, but I thought there was another one. He's like, no,
Nope,
just this one. And I was like, okay, so it was this one. And he said like a lot has changed in 20 years with that airport.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings me into the things you need to know if you are wanting to go to Jamaica. The things that you most definitely need to understand and know. And this was us figuring it out firsthand this past week.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you're flying in, you land. When you do land, you have to go through their customs.
Or immigration.
Immigration.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fast. Passport only.
The lines were really long and really intimidating, but it was definitely an easier process than I expected, because I'm sitting here like biting my fingernails like, what, are they going to go through our stuff again? Do we have to like unzip everything or take everything out?
Just
those kinds of things.
As we were getting there.
Right.
Right. And then when you walk in, you see there's lines and there's people. There's a lot of people. But honestly, we touched down and we were in a taxi within 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't long at all. Just looked long and intimidating, but it wasn't. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
So, okay.
Second thing.
Okay. So now this is important. Now, whenever you're done, you're outside, I'm going to tell you, as soon as you walk out the door of the airport, you are going, they're right there. What do you need? Where are you going? Hey, you need some weed? Hey, you need this? Hey, you need some weed? You need some weed? You need some weed? You need some weed?
We got asked that probably about 40 times.
As soon as you walk out. Now, it's not, do you need some weed? Do you need some weed? Do you need some weed? By the same person.
No.
It's, that person leaves, another person comes up to you. And I'm like, I had to look at, I think the third guy that asked me within a minute, and I'm like, I need a minute. Like, just go. I'm trying to figure everything out. And I was rude because I knew, going into a place like Jamaica, I wanted to respect their culture. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember this 20 years ago of it being that abrasive.
Yeah.
So I was like, and the guy backed away. Now, having been there for a week, talking to people that are in Jamaica, so that's how they make their money. People that don't work in the hospitality industry, mm-hmm. That's how they make their money. Now, I will tell you, we were asked, do we want weed, probably 50 times while we were, in the course of a week while we were there. All I had to say was, no, thank you. Mm-hmm. And they were gone. Right. They didn't,
They weren't
aggressive. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure? No, thank you.
They weren't ugly about it. Michael, just said, no, thank you. And they were like, okay, respect, man. That's,
and then they would take off, with a smile on their face. So I had to figure that out about day 2 of being there. Like, it's all right. It's all, if I was one to smoke weed,
you would have been set for sure.
Right.
On the daily, by the minute, probably.
But it was just like, it was that overwhelming of getting into, or, getting out of the airport. I knew it was coming, just having talked to other people, I knew it was coming, and it was. And so that's, first things first. That's exactly what you're going to experience. All you have to do is say, no, thank you. They're gone. Something changed within 20 years. They weren't allowed to do that 20 years ago.
So at our all-inclusive resort before, we didn't get our own taxi. They had a shuttle, so I don't think that we were exposed to it.
You're right. Because we were at the airport, we seen our sign, I remember, and then we went straight. We didn't have to deal with outside. That's right.
Yeah. And so we only went outside of the resort one time.
Yep.
That wasn't on an excursion by ourselves.
Yep.
And it was literally right across the street. So I don't remember a lot of that. But this time we did leave the resort like 2 times.
Which was good.
We were looking for sunscreen. Our hotel had it, but I was really looking forward to getting outside the resort and just, I don't know, just seeing their culture, their environment that they get to, experience every single day outside of this beautiful place that we had booked for the week. And Michael had a lot of anxiety about that.
I did. I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah, but I'm super proud of him. And we were able to leave 2 times. We got a couple of souvenirs for our babies, and then got back right on the resort, and it was just fine. So, but
now, hang on. I will say, so my anxiety, it's got nothing to do. No one's going to kidnap me. I'm not worried about that.
They'll bring him back, I promise.
They're like, it's the unknown. I'm that guy that has to go into a restaurant and I have to sit and be able to see the exit doors. I've got to be. It's who I am. I don't like unexpected things to happen, and I have to be able to watch all around me all the time. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
It's to protect me and it's to protect my wife. And then when you're out in a third world country, you don't know anything that's there. So it was just a matter of having to know my surroundings, and I felt like I had to constantly do this, and it's nerve-wracking. But, like I said, once we figure it out, like we're good, thank you. They'll take off, they'll leave you alone. But.
Yeah. So another thing that you definitely shouldn't do if you're from the U.S. and you're going to the island of Jamaica, don't exchange your money.
Don't. Oh, my goodness.
So apparently...
They love
U.S.
money.
dollars.
They
Yeah. We met tons of Canadians, super sweet and very informative, but there were so many of them. And I understand because it's like negative whatever there right
That's
now.
why they were there for
right.
2 and 3.
Please let me go to...
We met one couple that's been there for 3 weeks, and I was like, that's awesome,
right.
dude. He's like, well, it's cold back home. And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. But they were even saying that, they don't even like our money. Like, we had to go to our bank to exchange money.
They're Canadian. Yeah, the Canadian money.
Yeah, they had to exchange money
in
U.S. currency.
Yeah.
So, they could buy things in Jamaica. But I don't know why, but I just assumed that we needed Jamaican currency in order to get on.
Which is fine. We made it work. I mean, that's how we paid. That's how we paid the taxi driver, and actually brought back a $100 bill to Camden.
But this boy is so bright. He said, "What is this?"
I thought I was gonna get him too. Like, oh, yo, you gonna give me $100? And
he said, "What is this? Like $1?"
I'm like, damn. Like, yeah, son.
Oh my goodness.
Like, yeah, it is.
It's actually like 96 cents. But
come on, man.
We'll let you think it's a whole $1.
Yeah. So, but he's gonna hold on to it just because he does that with the coins and.
Yes.
Collects things like that, rocks and crystals and stuff like that. So, other important thing to know is if you do not have a shuttle, your taxi. So, Angela being Angela, read up on everything there is to read about.
I was reading blogs, like
everything.
Mad Woman.
You don't. Jamaica has its red license plate. That is an official taxi company.
Right.
Or whatever. So
they're insured.
Yeah, and a red tag means you're not allowed to. Camden heard something about money, so he was wanting to show y'all. So
I think you got it backwards. Do you?
Do. That is $100. That's $1 US. So thank you, buddy.
It's cool, anyways.
But red plate means they cannot stop. It's point A to point B with no stops in between.
Yeah. Apparently the white license plates, they, I guess, tend to pick up their friends and their family along the way.
Probably somebody that has weed that they can try to sell to them in the taxi. That's nerve-wracking. I couldn't imagine.
No. So we the only stipulation or the only question that we had for the taxi drivers, do you have a red tag?
That's the only question
and I bet he
yeah.
thought, of course I have a red tag.
No,
What?
he looked at me like, oh, you guys know what you're doing.
Right. So, yeah. So
I guess
make sure.
hang on, let's explain that situation. So, getting off the airplane, out of the airport, your first step, hey, you need weed, hey, you need weed. But you're also...
It was in the airport. The little
oh, yeah,
kiosk
do you
guys.
need a ride? Do you need a ride? Hey, where you going? Hey, where you going? Do you have a taxi? Do you have a shuttle? And it's just like, whew, I need a second. So I needed to walk outside. I was like, and then as soon as I walked outside, it was, hey, you need weed? Hey, you need a ride? Hey, you need weed? Hey, you need a ride? And it's like, and that's when I said, give me a freaking second. Just give me a second. I was rude, but I was like, just give me a second. So I walked off, me and her to the side, and I was just like, all right, I just wanted to take it all in for a second. And then somebody finally came up and was like, hey, where you guys staying? It was pleasant. He wasn't pushy at the airport. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, this is where we're going. He's like, I got you. And I was like, do you have a red tag? And he's like, I do. I was like, okay.
And not to mention, whenever we landed, we still had like our thermal clothes on underneath.
Yeah.
And
we left 30 degrees here.
Yes, it was 30 degrees and so windy. We were actually freezing. And so we landed, we went to Atlanta.
Yep.
But we didn't leave the airport. But when we landed in Jamaica, it was so warm and so humid. So not only did we just get to this, new country, this new land, we are walking outside sweating to death.
Yeah.
And Michael could possibly be having a panic attack right now. So I'm like, whoo, woosah. It's okay.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's end the podcast with a story about our trip home, our crazy trip home. So
I'm thinking, what story is he going to tell about this?
No, it's the airport, Anyways, leave Jamaica. All was good. We get in. God, it looked like 1,000 people standing in the customs line to leave. Connect, get to your gate. Get to our gate, whatever. We take off. All is good. Leaving Jamaica, all is good. So we fly into Charlotte. We're in Charlotte, hour and a half layover, and our next spot is we have to fly into Philadelphia for an 10 or 11 hour layover. We knew it. We were like, cool, fine. It is. We'll just make it work. I'm not gonna stay at a hotel for a couple hours and have to. It's stupid. We're just gonna make it work. So, but while we were there in Charlotte, we got to our gate and I asked the lady. I was like, you know what? I just seen that there's a flight leaving to Kansas City very soon. What are the odds? She's like, well, you got to go to customer service, ask them. Lo and behold, that lady was awesome. She's like, no, yeah, we can do that. And I'm like, okay. So I don't have to have an 11-hour layover, which I'm going to tell you, if we didn't land, this was us landing at 11 o'clock at night or 12 at night, that would have sucked. If we would have been in Philadelphia that morning with an 11-hour layover, we would have done that. She's been wanting to go to Philadelphia, and I wouldn't mind eating another cheesesteak from Philadelphia, so we would have done that. Mm-hmm. But so now we're all right, cool. Now we get to go to Kansas City. Our son's just gonna pick us up. We don't have an 11-hour layover. All right, well we're on the flight. We're headed to Kansas City, and I just see this lady sprinting down the aisle on the plane, and immediately I'm like, I'm on the end seat.
Yes.
I'm like, and we're the very last row of the plane, and I just see this lady coming full sprint, and I'm like, what the hell? What the heck's going on? And she gets to me, she falls face down and throws up everywhere, just a foot from where I was, just spews in the very back where, they come out with the carts. threw up everywhere.
And it stunk so bad.
Terrible.
Like literal poop is what it smelled like. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
And this was
okay.
probably, we had an hour left of the flight.
Yeah, I had to wear a mask.
Yeah,
it was bad.
It was bad.
Really bad.
So she's in the bathroom for the rest of that hour, just still puking. Bless her heart. That's all I can say. It sucks.
Well, I was thinking maybe it was nerves, or maybe she got drunk, at one of the bars at the airport. I had no idea.
But just to see a grown woman full sprint right down made me like, what's going on? What's going on? And then, so that happened. And then as we're about, we land, there's this lady who starts yelling at this grandma. Mm-hmm. If that was your kid, blah, blah, blah. I think she even said something about, how would you like it if, I kicked your ass or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it was very brief, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because the way that they were speaking to each other, I thought for sure that it was going to come to blows.
I think grandma will probably have whooped her too.
Well, I just looked at Michael and I'm like, it's a full moon, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
Yes. So
I was like, oh man, so that was crazy.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have any dull moments.
Nope. So, and then sun picked us up, and it was 30 degrees. The wind was blowing.
Oh my goodness, it was so cold.
It was cold. So,
but I did bring my long johns back.
Yeah.
And I did wear them on the plane. So actually, I changed in Charlotte when we were there. So. Because it was too warm when we left, I wanted to keep my shorts on. So we landed in Charlotte. We actually had to go out of the airport because of
check
customs.
back in. Yep.
Yeah. So it was warm enough to wear shorts
in Charlotte.
In March. Yeah. So I was flabbergasted by that, but I did put my long johns on because I knew we were coming back to this refrigerator that they call Missouri. So, but we made it home safe and sound, and I can't wait to do it again.
So,
really.
Next episode is actually going to be Christian and Haley.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, I've got everything. I've figured out. We're good on the software I've been using to figure out how to be able to do this, and it goes smoothly with two other people on here. So. Look for that, and we're gonna knock that out very soon. So look forward to that, and
thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Hopefully you found some useful information in here, if not entertaining information. So please like, share, or subscribe. That would be great.
And then go to Jamaica, come back, and you'll have a tan like this.
I know. Beautiful
Still tan.
In spring.
Yes. So thank you guys very much. Look forward to the next episode, Christian and Haley. Talk about some beginning marriage stuff, beginning of parenthood for them. So
yes,
that'll be fun. And if you've got any comments you want to throw their way, or any questions, or maybe just some advice their way,
come at us, bro.
Bring it. Send it to us, and we'll ask them questions live, or on while we're doing this. If you've got any comments or anything you want to throw their way about being new parents and the new lifestyle. So thank you guys very much.